Hi readers, Lee here. Welcome back to my channel, Lila Wanders and Reads, and welcome to my week in books. And I am sad to say that this week I read a record low for, I can't remember the last time I read this few books in a week. I read 2 books this week and I DNF'd 3. Unbelievable. Now, part of it is me. I'm distracted. There is a lot going on in the world. There's a lot going on in my job. And I live in the US, so we have an election coming up, and that is all that's on social media. It's really kind of stressful, but I voted. They offer early voting in my state, so that is behind me on my part. But we still have 3 more weeks to go, and there's going to be a ton more distractions, I am certain. So, some of these books that I DNF'd, it's probably not them, it's me. I think I'll get in a better place once the election is over, and it's not all in the news all the time. But I did read 2 really good books this week. The first was My Darling Dreadful Thing by Johanna van Veen. This is a sapphic, gothic horror novel, and I really enjoyed it. One of the things that I find about gothic is at a certain point, usually around the midpoint, it slows down a little bit, and so that's consistent with all gothic novels in my reading experience. Let me tell you about this. Ruth Beckman has a spirit companion only she can see. Ruth, strange, corpse-like, and dead for centuries, is the light of Ruth's life. That is, until the wealthy young widow, Agnes Knoop, visits one of Ruth's backroom seances and the 2 strike up a connection. Soon, Ruth is whisked away to the crumbling estate Agnes inherited upon the death of her husband, where an ill woman haunts the halls, strange smells drift through the air at night, and mysterious stone statues reside in the family chapel. Something dreadful festers in the manor, but still, the attraction between Ruth and Agnes is undeniable. Then, someone is murdered. Poor, alone, and with a history of hysterics, Ruth is the obvious culprit. With her sanity and innocence in question, she'll have to prove who or what is at fault or lose everything she holds dear. This is told, it starts out with a prologue, but then the book begins with an episode. I don't know if it's recorded on or just the doctor's notes, but it's between a psychologist and the patient, Ruse. And then it will go back and tell the story. Now, even though I said that it slowed down, it did not slow down enough for me to put it down and not want to pick it back up. I wanted to keep going. It was just a little bit slower paced than what I like, which is fine. I could enjoy it even though it was a little bit slower paced. Next up, I read Night Road by Kristin with a sticker I can't get off. And again, solid Kristin book. I think I gave it 3 stars, but rounded up to 3.5 because I'm a sucker for a happy ending. And like most of her books, it does have a happy ending. One thing that I find that Kristin does is that she can create characters that I really dislike. And sometimes, as in this case, that character turns themselves around at the end. There was one case, I can't remember the name of it, but the character did not, in my opinion, turn themselves around enough. But anywho, that's neither here nor there. So before I read the back of this, Kristin starts with with the dedication. And she admits to herself being somewhat of a helicopter mom. And she dedicates it to the other moms who kind of kept her stable. But the main character, Jude, in here is so much of a helicopter parent, it made me uncomfortable. And I know that if I had kids, I would probably be a helicopter parent too. But just not to the extent that Jude is in this, hopefully. Not a spoiler, Jude is the character that I dislike, even though she's one of the main characters. Life is good on quiet, affluent Pine Island for the picture-perfect Faraday family, and they are picture-perfect. Jude Faraday, a devoted stay-at-home mother, works tirelessly to be the best possible parent to her teenage twins, Mia and Zach. When Lexi Bale, a former foster child with a dark past, moves into their close-knit progressive community, no one is more welcoming than Jude. Lexi quickly becomes Mia's best friend. Then Zach falls in love with Lexi, and the three become inseparable, upsetting the fragile status quo of the Faraday family. Until the kid's senior year of high school tests every bond and pushes Jude to the brink. It's a dangerous, explosive season of drinking, driving, parties, kids who want to let loose, and parents who don't know how to hold on. In this powder keg of a summer, all it takes is one careless mistake, one terrible decision to ruin everything and pit friend against friend and neighbor against neighbor. In the years that follow, each must face the harrowing consequences of that single night and find a way to forget or the courage to forgive. The one criticism that I do have, the book was this long, so that's like book club guide. It starts out in their freshman year of high school, and then it really quickly jumps to senior year. So you miss what happens during the 3 years. In between, I kind of would have liked to seen a little more of that, but it would have been a much longer book. And I just feel the jump was so quick that it didn't really establish anything beyond a paragraph of how the friendship between Lexi and Mia developed. So, there's that. That was my second whole book. And I finished that probably Wednesday. And then just a shit ton of stuff happened. In the news, I'm going to start journaling what happens during the week, because by the time we get to my week in books, so much has happened that I don't remember anything. And so I can't tell you why I've been distracted. But I finished that on Wednesday. Thursday, I think. Don't quote me on the dates. I picked up American Rapture by C.J. Leede. And I started reading it, and then I put it down, and I didn't pick it back up again. So I must have started this Wednesday and finished that Tuesday. I don't know. Because I didn't pick it up Thursday. I usually don't read on Fridays, but I didn't pick it up on Friday. And Saturday I was just like, I have no desire to pick it up again. In this case, it is 100% probably me and being distracted. Also, I had a major work event happen, and I was trying to coordinate that and monitor that situation. So I could pick this up probably at another time when there's less going on and really enjoy it. I did that with Grady Hendrix's My Best Friend's Exorcism. Apparently I read that in 2017, gave it 1 star, and totally forgot about it. Picked it up in 2020 or 2021 and absolutely loved it. So that could happen with this. It could not capture my attention. Some pacing issues. Apparently, spoiler, I never got this far, but there apparently is a very disgusting dog death or killing, and I don't condone that. Condone is not the right word. I avoid books that have unnecessary cruelty to animals, and that was probably another reason I didn't want to pick it up, because somebody did not tell me about that. I saw it in Goodreads. But on the plus side, this did remind me, almost in a parody way, of that, I think it was called Saved with Mandy Moore. So it's kind of mocking religion, or I'm not sure. That's kind of satire. This reminded me of that. I may go back and read the author's note at the end. A lot of people commented on like that, and actually I think liked that better than the rest of the book. So in this one, a virus is spreading across America, transforming the infected and making them feral with lust. Sophie, a good Catholic girl, must survive the hellscape of the Midwest to try to save her twin brother while the world around her burns. Along the way, she discovers there are far worse fates than dying a virgin. So, I don't know. I just could not... I just couldn't get into it. And again, it's probably me. There's a lot going on. And maybe I'll try it again one day later. Okay, so when I DNF'd that, I had already really stopped listening to 2 audiobooks. The first is Out There Screaming. I only listen to audiobooks in my car on the way to and from work, or if I'm going somewhere in town. So usually 20 to 40 minutes a day. On Out There Screaming, I got stuck in the aesthete, and I just could not get into that story. But I stopped, and stuff was going on, so I kept turning it off so I could listen to the news or something. I think I will pick this up again. I'm just probably done for audiobooks until after the election. So when I stopped Out There Screaming, and I think I said this last week, I picked up an audiobook copy of World War Z by Max Brooks. This has got a full cast, and I think I would really like it, but again, distracted. So I started listening to this in lieu of Out There Screaming, and then yesterday I just decided there's too much going on. I need to be able to flip through the channels, and I'll try to pick it up later. So that brings me to today, which I'm posting this on Monday. I'm recording this on Sunday. I have 3 videos to shoot today because I was busy yesterday, and it's going to be a challenge to get them all recorded and uploaded today so they can post when they're supposed to. Anywho, so I don't want to stop reading. I'm not going to stop reading. I just need things that don't make me have to work so hard. So I picked up The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore by Laurie Gilmore, and this is what I'm reading now. I'm on chapter 6, so it reads really quickly. It is very light. I think earlier in the year, when there wasn't as much going on, I probably would have said, but it's light. I don't have to think. I read 6 chapters in like no time, and I only put it down because I was playing a video game on my tablet. So I will hope to get this finished by tomorrow night. It is a cute, light little love story. A small town spicy romance is how it's billed. When a secret message turns up hidden in a book in the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, Hazel can't understand it. As more secret codes appear between the pages, she decides to follow the trail of clues. She just needs someone to help her out. Gorgeous and outgoing fisherman Noah is always up for an adventure, and a scavenger hunt sounds like a lot of fun. Even better than the cute bookseller he's been crushing on for months. Even better that the cute bookseller he's been crushing on for months is the one who wants his help. Hazel didn't go looking for romance, but as the treasure hunt leads her and Noah around Dream Harbor, their undeniable chemistry might be just as hot as the fresh-out-of-the-oven cinnamon buns the bookstore sells. Anywho, this is actually the second book in the Dream Harbor series. I had thought about reading the first one first, which is usually how I do it, but I think when I bought this, which was several weeks ago, I had read the first couple pages of the first one and I was just like, meh. But this one, I connected to more. If I really like this one, I may go out and buy the first and third books in the series. But then again, maybe I won't. I've got a shit ton to read. So I'm starting off this next coming week with the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. And hopefully October will not continue to be the month of mez, as I call it. Anywho, that is it for me. I hope you are having a better time reading than I am. I will put links to all of these in the description box below. You can buy them on bookshop.org and support a local bookseller of your choice if they're available, or you can let them choose. I'm still figuring out what I'm going to do for Tuesday, for Book Talk Tuesday this week. I've got some things in mind, and on Wednesday I will definitely post a book haul because I've got a lot of books that I've bought that I haven't talked to you about. Anywho, that is it for me. Happy reading!